right, you're checking out Weekend Brunch with WeekendGabe on this Saturday afternoon. King Shampz, who is the leader of Dead Wrong Records and also an artist himself. They've been putting out work for quite some time, most recently Dawn of the Dead, right before or right at a little bit in the midst of the pandemic. But he's been hitting me up. I've been listening to a lot of his records, definitely bringing that new age gangster rap. We'll get into the origins of that and also the influences and see how many times and count how many times he says young bull. Joining us now here on Weekend Brunch, King Shampz. How are you, sir?
I'm good, man. That's a hell of an intro, bro. A hell of an intro. I was sitting here dying. First and foremost, I was sitting here laughing about basketball. Like the whole statement beforehand, I was over here cracking up because it's nothing worse than people just trying to jump in things that they know nothing about,
Right.
period. Like that is just like a pet peeve of mine anyway. Like I'm not getting my black ass on no ice hockey rink ever. Like, don't get me on there. Like, you got to know your limitations. You know what I mean? You got to know your limitations, man.
Yes,
How's everything, brother?
yeah, I'm good, but there's also indicators to someone that you should not trust. When someone uses the gym ball and it's a YMCA, you know you're getting the super ball. You're not getting a quality ball. And what was dude practicing with? The super ball. So the basketball for him really isn't his priority when he went to the YMCA to work out. He was just looking for
Right.
something just to keep his feet moving. And I respect that. Get your hustle in, get your steps in, do whatever works for you. But when you see dudes like really like working on their games and trying to get better, like don't interrupt that or don't insert yourself, and you're not making the situation better. But dude, clearly he mentioned that he was in the Marines. I don't think he's old enough for Vietnam, young enough for Vietnam. So clearly some loose screws, but salute to him. But I just gotta keep the blinders on and be like, nah, be like, not this go. Just I gotta be that guy. I don't want to be that guy, but if you would have seen it and experienced it, it was no bueno, no bueno. But anyways, I'm glad you could join us, King Shampz, here on Weekend Brunch. I want to get to your name a little bit before we got a lot to dive into in a really short period of time. But your name is really fascinating because I understand that it translates into multiple meanings.
Yeah.
One of them that is just absolutely phenomenal, Son of God. So
Yeah.
talk a little bit about bringing that name and making it part of your moniker as an artist and why that was so important.
Oh, for sure. I just wanted to go in ahead and have something different. I felt like everybody was going with little this and little that and little this and little that, and I'm sits over 300, so it's nothing little about me. So
Right.
it was it wasn't any use in like coming up with one of those names, and I wanted something creative and spiritual at the same time. You know what I'm
Sure.
saying? Like I'm a very spiritual person, so I wanted to go in here and have something that connected. Um, and it's unique. It was so unique where it's like when you hear King Shampz, it's only one of those. It's no way to find
Mm,
like two, three, four, or five of those where you can Google some of these other guys' names and no knock on them, but it'd be 100 motherfuckers with the same name damn near. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Or something
Right.
similar to it. So I wanted to kind of go on ahead and stand out of the pack. And that's the same thing that I do with the music. I want to make music and things that stand out of the pack. So that was just the first thing that I wanted to go on ahead and set it off with.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's important too. Like the name is like really sends the signal of what you may get. And and I was mentioning at the top before you jumped into the green space, I was reading that you're bringing quote unquote the new age of gangster rap. That's sort of the mission statement for Dead Wrong Records. And there's a lot of rich history of behind Philadelphia hip hop being enamored into the hardcore hip hop. And we don't we can just mention our top Schoolie D, and then maybe in the
Yeah.
early 2000s, Philly's Most Wanted, and of course Benny Siegel, who are bringing that hardcore vibe to the forefront. But why is it important to take the past of the hardcore and try to reinvent it, or like you said, bring a new wave of it? Well, why is that so important?
I mean, it's important to me, number one, because I'm from West Philly, just like Schoolie D is. You know what I mean? And Schoolie D basically made gangster rap. You know what I'm saying? So it's such a fucking tradition to have that here and to carry that on that we wanted to be those guys. And
Right.
we're so influenced by, Death Row and Bad Boy and Mob Deep and the Woo and all of these different guys that really was spitting that gangster shit, really making songs and quality content that we wanted to go in ahead and carry that on
Mm,
because it's a couple of guys that are doing it right now, but it's not enough. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And we
Yeah.
just wanted to go on and hear that ability to rap because hip hop is about the ability to rap. I never knock anybody that's good. That's what that's not hip hop. Hip hop is words. Hip hop is flows and lyrics and all of that shit. So we wanted to kind of bring back that feel. You know what I mean? That energy of the streets because the streets haven't went nowhere. Chicago, the streets ain't went nowhere. Philly, the
No.
streets haven't went anywhere. You know what I
Right.
mean? So
Exactly.
we wanted to go on ahead and give out that same energy that those guys were exhibiting back then and bring it to the forefront in a new wave. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we were kind of doing with Dawn of the Dead. We were kind of bringing that some old, some new, some broad, some blue kind of flavor to everything. So I think it was pretty successful too.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's rewind the clocks a little bit. Take us to the beginning of your career into penning words and start to record yourself and get into this game a little bit. Well, when did that journey start, and what was sort of the flicker or the spark that got you involved?
Oh, well, to tell you the truth, I kind of grew up around music. You know, like I always tell people, I'm a classically trained pianist. My brother's a classically trained pianist as well.
Really
So, yeah,
phenomenal.
like we have a musical background. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we grew up on 57th and Chestnut, Corleone. That's our block. We still was in the hood with it. You know what I'm saying? So it was a thing of us basically mixing two worlds together where it's like, okay, we're going to put our music together, but we also want to talk about where we come from, what we survive through every day, what we experience every day. So
Sure.
listening to, like I said, all of the greats, your Jays, your Nas, your Pots, the whole list, all of those guys. And then growing up in Philly where State Prop was running, going through that era where Dipset was running, G Unit was running, you know what I'm saying? So it was like a real good time for hip hop where it was mixing
Yep.
hooks and melodies, but motherfuckers were still spitting bars. And that's what we
Right.
grew up on. So around, I say maybe 11 or 12 or whatever, we really started like listening and saying, you know what, let's start forming ourselves. Let's start like really taking this shit a little bit more seriously. Recording off karaoke boom boxes and shit, freestyling and everything. Like, you know what I mean? Like that real love for it, man. Like we were just doing everything just to make sure that we sharpen our skills because we knew we was going to do what we were going to do. You know what I'm saying? So we would just listen to record after record, and just try to build our culture as best way we could. And got older and say, you know what? This is the thing for me. I think the turning point to bring it back full circle for me was, like I always said, a Jay-Z Fade to Black DVD. That
Mhm.
changed my fucking life because it was crazy to me to see so many motherfuckers that were superstars at that time coming to see this guy for a farewell concert and just the impact it had. You know what I mean? Like that
Right.
Fade to Black album was crazy. And like it was just mind boggling to me. I said, that's what I want to do. I want to do that. I want to sell out the garden. I want to do those things. You know what I'm saying? So it just kind of built this fire that it was just like, yo, I got to push myself. I got to get to them limits. You know what I mean? And push past some limits to there's no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Take us into West Philadelphia. You said in another interview you grew up on the south side of West
Yeah.
Philadelphia. So what is that experience like? I can kind of describe to you Chicago, but it may not necessarily vibe with anything that you've experienced. So try to take us into what that may feel like, because I think everyone from the national perspective obviously thinks of West Philadelphia and the Fresh Prince. So it's kind of like gimmicky and like it's fun, it's a novelty. but there's some realness and some hardness that is happening in your community. Take us into what that was like, and also how that helped shape your narrative of the kind of music that you wanted to make.
Oh, for sure. I always give props to Will Smith because he is from West Philly. I always say I'm from the most famous neighborhood in America. You know what I mean? Because
Mm,
every time you hear West Philly is at least going to something. But the reality of West Philly is a dangerous part of the city. Philadelphia is a
mm,
dangerous city. You know what I mean? We were traveling around with guns and shit all the time. You know what I'm saying? Just because it's like it's real out here. You know what I mean? You got motherfuckers shooting cops. Same kind of shit that's going on in Chicago right now. Same kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? It may not be GDs and BDs and vice lords and, people and folk nation type shit, but it's that same
right.
kind of element. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Like that same kind of element. And you had some of us that had gangs, you had that kind of culture here, not as prevalent as you guys, but like that same energy, the same like violence, the same kind of street element we grew up with in West Philly. You know what I
right.
mean? Matter of fact, like maybe 2 or 3 days ago, guy had a whole shootout with the cops, maybe about 2 blocks away from us. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? So like West Philly, when people hear it, of course, it's like, oh, Will Smith, such. But like you come out here, it's a whole nother ball game. There's no high top fades and Nikes and shit. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like it's none of that. That's a lot going on. And that shaped our music because it was a lot of gangster and street shit going on around us. So when you hear us rap, when you hear us talk the way we talk, we either talking about shit we did, went through, or saw.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
or heard our people go through. You know what I mean? So that's why we embody the music we embody, where it's like, oh no, they spit like some real street like gangster kind of shit. And it's like, yeah, because that's our environment. It plays into the music. It's very hard for it not to. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like Philadelphia right now, for it being such a small city, it's extremely violent everywhere.
Mm,
Like, and everything is 15 minutes away. Like our downtown, guys is getting shot downtown now. You know what
right.
I'm saying? Like, it's getting to that point where nowhere is safe in the city. So we just are putting the city on record, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Like really putting out that energy where it's like, yo, these guys come from West Philly, these guys come from Philly, but everybody knows y'all saw Beanie Siegel. We the only people like in the cities that are literally come out of our city and still have shootouts. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Like everybody comes from that element out here. You know what I'm saying? So we're just kind of following tradition, but doing it smarter. We don't got time for the dumbass shootouts and all of that. We want to go in here and put hip hop back where it needs to be and make sure we're doing our part to make sure that's done.
got it. So, what was the motivation to start Dead Wrong Records? I'm gonna drop this. You got young bulls and artists on your roster, so let's get into that. Like, what is like starting your own label seems like a very huge, boulder to push up, get going because now you're responsible for artists and their careers and making sure that they're getting out there. That seems like a huge responsibility, and you yourself are an artist who's also
Mm,
trying to get out there. So it seems a little bit maddening on the surface, but I'm sure there's some reasoning and understanding behind your choice to move in that way.
absolutely. One of the main things we wanted to do, again, when we were bit with the music bug, was to create our own labels. We always looked up to those guys like P and Puff and Suge and all those dudes for making the labels and making the powerhouses that they made and created. And we wanted to kind of again carry on tradition in that way. And everybody knows the talent that comes out of Philadelphia and the East Coast and everything. But as of recently, especially in Philly, there really hasn't been any movements or any labels that stood out where it
Right,
was like,
right.
you know what I mean? Like power player guys in the game. We may have a guy that raps or a little crew that raps or whatever the case may be, but it was never an official label that promoted the talent and promoted the artist. So I wanted to go on ahead and make sure me and my brother Azan, we wanted to go on ahead and make sure that we had that. And all of the artists know they can hit me up at any time. We're going to make sure that you get your placements. We're going to make sure that you're going on certain magazines and radio shows and podcasts and all those different things because I want everybody to shine. I feel like we
Yeah.
all can go in here and shine and make a difference and really be a fucking force to be reckoned with because I feel like the game is wide open. You know what I mean? For the kind of music that we're doing, because you may have guys that are doing gangster rap. You may have guys that are doing drill and certain forms of it, but it's not the way that we're doing it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like it's not the way that they're formatting. Our formats are different. You know what I'm saying? So we wanted to kind of bring back, like I said, that Dipset era, that G Unit era, where it was like guys was really spitting that flashy shit and that gangster shit, but they was selling records. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like they was getting after, they was really getting after the money. And we got a group of spitters. You know what I mean? We bringing in some more people, producers all over the world that are trying to go in here and join this movement. And it's easy for me and Azan to go in here and balance shit because, like I said, our environments kind of dictated certain shit, so we had to be leaders at early ages. You know what I mean? We come from a place where it's like if we're not able to lead and you follow, then you can get caught with a hollow, you dig? So you have to be able to be on your P's and Q's all the time. So us balancing that being artists as well as leading the label and making sure that the direction is going where we want it to be is easy for us. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, we were able to kind of translate what we experienced and what we learned into record label build and being able to scout talent, being able to do true A&R work, which is a lost art, which is developing the artists and making sure that
Right.
they're good, making sure that they have a certain image that you're going after and understanding how to promote them. So it's a full-time fucking job. Don't get me wrong, but it is fulfilling in seeing like your homies and your people that you know are talented are getting placements in South Africa, getting placements in France, getting placements all over the world. And they like, damn, like I never thought we could damn near leave the block. And there's somebody over here that's listening to my music and really appreciating it. So we want to go in here and build that culture and be that Nets death row, that Nets bad boy. You hear so many people talk about it, but they either don't have the talent, the work ethic, or what's it see, all of the above on a test. They don't have none of that shit. So that's what makes us grind the way we grind. That's what made us build Dear Wrong Records the way we build it. And guess what? We still have ways to go. We still have ways to go. But the thing is, the way this shit is moving right now, it's gonna be a hot summer, man. It's gonna be a hot summer. I got some shit.
All right, so I mean that's the question of the hour right now. Who's due up next? What's the move going to be? I know it's been Dawn of the Dead. You guys dropped that right at the height of the pandemic. So have you
Yeah,
guys been plotting, waiting for the world to open up, which seems to be the case? A lot of bare faces out there in the world. Some of y'all should be shameful, but you know who you are. But the world's opening back up. So is this the perfect time this summer to start to roll out? You're some artists and develop and promote upcoming albums that may drop in 2022?
absolutely. I'm actually gonna be dropping a single, which I will be sending to you soon. Soon as it's mixed
Let's
down
go.
and everything. Yeah, I got some shit, man. This record's going to do some numbers. And then I'm dropping my solo project, Rise of Corleone. Rise of Corleone is going to be coming out in a couple of months. Probably in the next couple of weeks, we're going ahead and release the date because we're still trying to like fix a couple of things. Um,
Yeah,
but after that, we flooding them. Like I told motherfuckers, bro, I said, listen, I said it's the new No Limit with crazy spitters.
nice.
Like imagine how No Limit was just coming out with project at the project at the project at the project, but it's going to be crazy product. The coke ain't
Yeah.
gonna be little coke. It's gonna be the big kilo type talk. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't gonna be the little shit. It's gonna be the big boy talk. So we're excited about the projects. We're excited about the artists that we're bringing on. We're gonna have different ciphers and freestyles. We're gonna be bringing back Dead Wrong Tuesdays, where we're dropping singles every week. And Frio's gonna be dropping soon. Black's gonna be dropping soon. You know, my man Ace Montana's going to be dropping soon. We got a lot of different artists that we want to go on ahead and drop, and we'll be dropping another compilation album. And me and Azan are probably going to do a duo project as well, where me and him would just be rapping on it. And then I'll be dropping later on at the end of the year. So we got a lot of projects. And Dawn of the Dead, bro, opened up a lot of doors to these heavy hitters. A lot of these record exec motherfuckers are finally starting to fuck with us and say, oh, this is a sound we can market. This is a sound we can push. Bro, they don't know what the fuck I got for them, though. Like, when I send you this new shit, bro, listen, I'm telling you, bro, this shit is going to be some phenomenal work, man. And you know, we wouldn't be sitting here if I wasn't motherfucker I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm taking it up to the next level of being elite. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you always have the guys that are average to good to great. No, it's time to take it to elite level. So this next single I'm going to drop is going to shake shit up. Rise of Corleone is going to be the album of the year. I guarantee that. Like, solo project for me. And I hear everybody say it, this, and the third, but it's like, yo, y'all motherfuckers is rapping over drumless beats and acting like that mean whatever to me. I can rap over those too. So it's I'm competitive right now, bro. Like, I'm hungry. I'm ready to run 1,000,000 miles right now. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Well, we're gonna hold you to your statement about having the album of the year. So you got a lot of good competition. But let me throw this in there. So to circle back, so you and your brother are working together. Azan are working on this project. I can't really do much with my brothers because there's too much conflict and too much the disagreement. How do you guys find your own path to work together and stay in your lanes and not overlap? Or have you guys always just been close growing up and having the same vision? Like you said, you guys are both musically trained and probably share a lot of the same interests. So is that not an issue at all?
It's not an issue at all, man. You know, and I've seen so many people like you said, like yourself, where it's like, damn, I can't sit with these motherfuckers to have lunch. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
not like that bad, but yeah.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, it's certain things we can't really move in on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen that situation before, but we were always raised, because there's three of us, we were always raised to be tight-knit and really close, and we've been close forever. So it's always an easy relationship. And don't get me wrong, we have arguments with brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong. We will have words with each other, but one thing we always come back to is the focus and the common goal of dominating this rap thing, of dominating the game as a whole, of taking Dead Wrong Records to the new plateau and being able to say, you know what? We're not only an independent label battling other independents, but it's going to get to a point where it's like we're better and bigger than the majors. That's what we believe, and that's the goal and the focus. So we never lose sight of that. Even through like a little quarrel or whatever, it's like, okay, bro, let's get back on the same page. We got a mission. You know what I mean? So it's always been easy for us, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. How does having that musical background help out with the production choices you got? Because I was thinking about this recently. It's that usually when people, I think, and we talked to Jeff Bradshaw, who I believe is out of the Philadelphia community, one of the bigger names in with his trumpet. And you know, there's such this neo soul still era aura that follows through that everyone was absolutely in love with, from the Roots to Joe Scott's to Music, Soul Child, etc. And that seems to have been like the market of the sound, Philly soul, that had been carrying a lot of what was coming out. And like you said, we did get Meek Mill rise through that and become his own voice and sound. But how would you identify what the Philly hip hop sound is? You know, here in Chicago, we're most notably known for either the drill sound or for the Chicago hip hop soul, with like, you know, No ID and Kanye bringing that to the forefront. But how would you describe the hip hop sound that's coming out of Philadelphia, West Philadelphia?
It's a street sound. I think it's blending a lot. You know, as you know, like at this point in time, everybody's blending different sounds together. So you can have some of these Philly young bulls like on drill shit. You know what I mean? Like different
Mm,
drills. And, you know, like New York, yeah, like New York has like started embracing more of like a UK drill kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? With like, you know, Pop Smoke and Fabio Foreign and all those dudes. Like it's so many blended sounds in Philly, but for better or worse, like if you talk about like Philly, like what we was known for was like that Just Blaze era where it was soul, you know what I mean, rapping about the streets, you know, that Beanie Siegel, that State Prop, Gilly, and a lot of trap. You know what I'm saying? Like a
mm-hmm.
whole lot of trap is here. You know what I'm saying? I think
Yeah,
that's everywhere, really. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I think really what our sound, if you're talking about from a rapper's perspective, is always going to be
yeah.
street shit. And that will never change. You know what I mean? Like, especially in West, like, that's all we rap about. North Philly, that's all we rap about. You know what I'm saying? Because most of the guys are either leaving the life or still in the life, got one foot in the life. You know what I'm saying? So they're
Sure.
only rapping about what they're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? So when you start talking about like the Philly sound, it's always gonna be like a gangster sound. This is gangster shit going on. You know what I mean? We could never
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? And listen, I love neo soul. I'm a fan of Music Soul Child, Jill Scott. They got some banging ass music because I love music, period. But like
right.
from what I know the young boys want to listen to, what they want to go in here and get down to, they want to hear their gangster shit, they want to hear the real shit because that's what they're experiencing every day. So
Yeah,
that's the soundtrack of every Philly rapper is basically being able to provide that trench music. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I before we get out of here with the King Shampz here on Weekend Brunch, I gotta ask. I was in Philadelphia about maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Mm.
My Philly steak experience was that at the Philly Stadium, which was like a microwave fucking sandwich that was just trash. What is the official go to for anyone visiting to get the official Philly cheese sandwich, Philly cheesesteak
It's
sandwich?
listen, you got 100 places you can go to. I'm gonna name a couple. Um, Matz's,
Okay,
Jim's, Geno's, Pat's, Delisandro's. You got another spot that's a little bit more local, Ishkabibbles. Um, they got pretty good cheesesteaks. You got a couple spots, but those like five I can remember like right now that are like really good cheesesteak spots. Like really good ass cheesesteak spots. And then
yeah,
there's so many like being honest, you just gotta hit like the mom and pop kind of spots. You know what I
right.
mean? Like there's one spot in West Philly, like I said, Ishkabibbles we got, and then there's another spot called Sunny Spot. So they make pretty solid cheesesteaks too. Downtown, like if you're going for more like a tourist kind of feel, of course you're gonna go to like Gems and Geno's. You got Matz's. The Platinum Eagle makes pretty good cheesesteaks. So it's a lot of like local spots that you can go get a good cheesesteak. So next time you out here, bro, tap in with me so
I
we're
got
not
you.
trying to feed you no steakums, man. Cause I'll be damn I go to Chicago. I'll be damned. I go to Chicago. I can't get no chicken. I can't get no deep dish pizza. Like, listen, take me where I need to go, man. Don't give me no
We got
Domino's and no bullshit chicken, man. Like hook me up. So yes, those are some good spots. Those are some good spots. So anybody that's listening, anybody that's like in the city, Philly, those are the spots. Delisandro's, Pat's, Geno's, Gems. Larry's Cheese Sticks is a good spot too. Oh man, I can go on and on, man. It's a couple spots, but we gotta get you out the steakum life, man. We gotta get you out of there.
Oh man, it was. I was staying in the downtown area. I was at a work conference, so that was the only place I went to. And then I hopped on the train and went out to whatever the Fifth Third Bank or whatever the fuck it's called, the Philly Stadium. And so I went up
Oh,
there.
citizens. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. I knew it was a bank, yeah. And so I went up there, coworker and I, and we were just like looking for something to grab, and they're like, "Oh, we got cheesesteak sandwiches." I'm like, "All right, bet," because with us, with either the Sox or the Cubs
Mm,
not so much, but the Sox definitely have a large option of food options that you can choose from, and most of
mm,
them are really great. So my thinking is, oh, this will be a reflection of what I could probably get in the streets here at the stadium, and that was not the move. It was like sitting under
Nah,
some
nah,
like a
nah.
heat lamp, and I knew that was the gig was up as soon as I got there. I was like, this ain't the real. But I didn't have time to like go into the community and really get at it the way I wanted it to. So the next go for sure. I'll definitely tap in, and we'll have to make that run.
Yeah, yeah, man. Because I'm about to say, every stadium ain't created equal, man. You know that.
I
You
will
know,
say no. I will say this though: the construction and the development of all the stadiums being in the same vicinity is really
yeah.
fucking genius. And I will give a lot of credit to whomever designed that, because here in the
Mm,
city, obviously our city, you got to go to the west side for the Bulls, north side for the Cubs, south side for the Sox, the lakefront for the Bears, and so it's like there's all types of transportation issues that come with that. And it was
yeah.
like the one train stop dropped you off, happened to be a hockey game, go across the street, go to the Phillies, or walk up and you go see the Eagles.
Yep.
So I thought that was really dope on how that is constructed. So I give you guys a lot of props and credit for that.
For sure. I mean, it's always dope, and we're a big sports town, man. You know what I mean? We're a huge sports town. We always love and support our team. So, that's regular shit. And the thing is, it needs to be like that, man. You can't have the stadium in West Philly, man. I hate to say that, but it's like no way you could do that shit. Like that would be interesting to say the least. Let's just put it that way. So I'm glad that it's down South Philly and it's over there, and we can all go there and see who we want to see for
Right.
sure.
Yeah, parking is definitely not an issue for you guys. For us, it's a fucking nightmare. But
Oh,
anyways,
don't believe that. Don't believe that.
okay, word.
Parking is. Oh, you never saw the Parking Wars show?
I did. I used to watch that regularly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Listen, that
I assume. Yeah, I
Philly.
assume for the yeah.
Oh my God, parking is shit. It is horrible. It is horrible. Oh my God. Who don't see? We'll be on here a whole another hour talking about the parking. I ain't fooling with you, man.
No, listen, it ain't great over here on the north side. Forget about it. I had to Uber it just to get home. All right,
Oh
man.
Lord.
Well, King Shampz, thank you so much for joining us here on Weekend Brunch. I appreciate you dropping in. Please keep us posted on the upcoming releases when they come out, on the new stuff you were talking about. We definitely am a huge fan and supporter of Dead Wrong Records. You and your brother Azan, you guys are doing phenomenal work. I love the hustle. I love the spirit behind what you guys are doing, and I always love the hardcore hip hop. Even if I never actually shared that life experience, I love looking from the outside in, and you guys do a great job of storytelling. So much appreciation.
I appreciate that, brother. Thank you for having me on, man. And hey, make sure y'all follow me on Instagram and Twitter at King Shampz, KingShampz. Make sure you follow me. All of the updates. I got my word of the day up there for your motivational talk. You know what I mean? We doing it all, man. We tapping into everything. So I appreciate you having me on, bro. I'm glad we can make it happen.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and thanks for joining me.
You too, bro. You too.
All right. King Shams joining us here on Weekend Brunch with WeekendGabe. I don't have